Welcome, brave souls, to the fire's flickering light, where shadows dance and whispers of the unknown drift on the wind. I'm Sam Hain, your guide through the eerie tales that haunt the darkest corners of your imagination. Tonight, we gather around the flames to uncover stories that will chill your bones, make your heart race, and keep you looking over your shoulder. From ancient legends to ghastly encounters, these tales are not for the faint of heart. So, stoke the fire, lean in close, and prepare yourself for a journey into the realm of the strange and the sinister. Are you ready to be afraid? Let the storytelling begin.
I should have given him the compass. That's what I keep telling myself as I trace the outline where my reflection should be. The mirror shows everything in my small flat. The faded blue wallpaper, the stack of unwashed dishes, the dying plant by the window. Everything, except me. I've become a void, a human-shaped absence in the world. It started 3 weeks ago during my solo camping trip in the Cairngorms. I picked a remote spot, the kind where phone service gives up, and the nearest person's probably miles away. The locals in Aviemore had warned me about camping alone, but I'd brushed them off. I'd been doing solo camping trips for years, and Scotland's wilderness felt safer than the most. The first 2 nights were peaceful, just me, my tent, and the ancient pines whispering overhead. But on the third night, while I was sitting by my dying campfire, I heard footsteps crunching through the frost-covered grass. They were slow, deliberate, like whoever was walking wanted me to hear them coming. He emerged from the darkness like a piece of night that had torn itself loose, tall and thin, wearing what looked like an old tweed coat that hung too loosely on his frame. His face was ordinary, in a way that made it impossible to remember clearly, even seconds after looking away. In his arms, he carried a wooden box with brass corners, the kind antique dealers might use for their most precious items. A fine night for trading, he said, his voice carrying the soft lilt of the Highlands, but somehow wrong, like someone trying to remember how words should sound. He didn't wait for an invitation before settling across from me, placing his box carefully on the ground. The box, when he opened it, contained the strangest collection I'd ever seen. A child's marble with a crack down the middle, a rusty key that looked too old to fit any modern lock, a silver thimble blackened with age, a matchbox that rattled with something that wasn't matches. He picked up my grandfather's compass from where it sat on my camping chair's armrest. Turning it over in his hands, it seemed too long, too pale. "This," he said. "I'll trade any item in my box." His smile didn't reach his eyes. I'm not even sure he had eyes. Just darker spots where they should have been. I should have given him the compass. Instead, I told him it wasn't for sale or trade. It was the last thing my grandfather gave me before he died. Its brass case engraved with his initials. The stranger's smile widened, showing teeth that gleamed too white in the firelight. "Everything is for trade," he said, closing his box with careful precision. "If not freely given, then fairly taken." He stood, his movement too fluid, too smooth. "I'll return tomorrow night. Perhaps you'll reconsider." But I didn't wait for tomorrow. As soon as he disappeared into the darkness, I packed up my camp with trembling hands and drove straight home to Edinburgh. I thought I'd escaped whatever game he was playing. 3 days later, I noticed the first sign something was wrong. My reflection in the bathroom mirror seems slightly transparent, like a photograph slowly fading. By the end of the week, I can see straight through myself. Now, I'm just an empty space in every mirror, every window, every reflective surface. I've tried taking selfies, but my phone's camera shows nothing where I should be. The doctors can't explain it. Their instruments show I'm there. My vital signs normal, but their eyes slide off me like water off glass. People on the street look through me, not in the usual way of ignoring strangers, but as if their brains refuse to process my existence. Last night, I found a small wooden box sitting outside my flat door. Inside was my grandfather's compass, its brass case now tarnished black, attached with a note written in spidery handwriting. A fair trade, wouldn't you say? Should have given the compass when he asked. Now I wonder what else he might come back to collect. And whether next time he'll take something even more fundamental than my reflection. After all, in the grand scheme of things, what's a reflection compared to a heartbeat, a breath, a soul? If you're camping in the Cairngorms and a man with a wooden box visits your campfire, give him whatever he asks for. Some trades aren't worth refusing, and some prices are too high to pay. I should have given him the compass.